Good evening, everyone. It is technically August 14th, 2023 on the East Coast. Tomorrow, no news coming in on this Monday session. Um, current, sorry about that. Currently, we are selling off. We closed around 45.82-ish, let's call it 80 plus, and we opened up. We're unable to break yesterday's high, and instead we have fallen down to roughly the -2 standard deviation of last week's VWAP near the prior week's low over here. In my opinion, it's unlikely that weekly low gets meaningfully ran. Instead, what I think this will be is mostly a long day. I know right now it doesn't really look like that, given that we're selling off, but uh, I think we're going to go ahead and rotate up towards 4502, somewhere around there. Let's call it 4500, just for the sake of argument. So that's what I'm going to be looking for, is a move up to around 4500 for tomorrow. So in general, I'm going to be looking to play the long side. On the Nasdaq, same thing happening, getting a nice little sell-off happening here right now. We rejected these prior swing lows, rejected that right here around the open, and moving down, we got a little bit below that -2 standard deviation of last week's VWAP, got below that prior week's low, but I think that's going to probably be it for the selling. I would not be surprised if the overnight low is in on both the ES and NQ, and I wouldn't be surprised if that is our sessional lows on both of them as well. I think on the NQ you can start to get a move up towards somewhere around that 260-ish number. Maybe we struggle around the mid hundreds, that kind of 130 to 160 area, somewhere around here. Maybe we struggle to reclaim this area, but I think eventually you're going to be looking at a move up to around, let's call it, what should we call it? About 236 to 270. Something like this, 235 to 285. There you go, somewhere around there. I think we'll be able to move up there. So in general, for tomorrow, I'm going to be looking to the long side. Let's talk about how I'm actually going to be playing it. Let's throw up some lines on this chart. Let's get a 30-minute going, just because it's nice and pretty. Let's talk about the long side. I think we're looking at a long at 66s after a tag of 64 quarter. And then these guys, I want to be long somewhere around 70 to 73s if we fail to take out this overnight low. If we fail to get below, let's call it 69. If we fail to get below this kind of level here, and instead we're just holding 73s, I think you're looking at a long up to the overnight high. And in that case, I would not be looking to take these shorts that I'm laying out over here. Now, if that overnight low breaks, I would be looking to get short in any of these areas, looking for a continued move downwards, or at least down to 74, 75. Above there, I think you're playing with the first half of the year's high at 98s, and I think you'd want to be short there after a move to 02s. That being the last week's halfback and VWAP close above there. And I don't think you really want to be short. If you did, maybe you're looking at 07s or 10s, but really I think these shorts are kind of screwed at that point. I think you do not want to be looking to play the short side. So that's all I'm really looking for. Down below, maybe there's a long around, what is that, 44, 45 half, something like, oh, my other screen just doing some funny things. Maybe there's a long somewhere around there, but I don't think so. I think you're starting to play with moves that are outside the norm for a Monday session. I think it's better to hold off. Any of these 38s, 32s, maybe that. I don't think that happens tomorrow. I really think that instead you're going to hold somewhere around here, get a move up to somewhere around here. I think in general, you're likely looking at these highs to break, and I think you would be looking at something like this for the RTH range, somewhere around that. Kind of 70 to 98, maybe up a little bit higher. Yeah, maybe something like this for tomorrow's RTH. Now, let's get on to the Nasdaq. Of course, the Nasdaq has been weaker for the past numerous sessions. How am I looking to trade this thing? Well, not too differently than the ES. Less aggressive on the long side, more aggressive on the short side. Similar to ES, I think we probably put in the overnight low for the session, and I think you want to start looking for longs somewhere around here, most aggressively at 69 quarters. That level of mine got a really nice bid during the overnight right there to, I think, pretty much the tick, maybe is one tick off. Aggressive shorts if the overnight low breaks. I think you can, if the ES and overnight lows break, plus this level is trading inside the IB. In other words, if the initial balance trades something like this and the low has broken, the overnight low broken, and the ES overnight low is broken, if all those things are broken, I think you're looking at a great short opportunity at 101s. Above there as well, getting short somewhere around 155 or settlement lows at 136. Above there, getting short at 243s or the last week's VWAP close at 264s. I'd be surprised if they move up further than that, but I would be looking to short 284s. Above there, nothing really changing. Still looking at the same old levels, 342s, 350s, 368 and a half. And of course, our buddy, Mr. 331. So that's how I'm looking at this guy. And as you can tell, much more aggressive on the short side than I am with ES. Again, I think in general that you're looking at a long day. I think you want to be playing the long side. Perhaps you find a low of the day somewhere around there as well. So in general, to recap, 6.5 minutes, my bad. I think you're not looking to break this. I think you're going to get rotation up towards this kind of pivot zone, and that'll be it for Monday. I think Tuesday we decide if we're going to keep going up or if we're going to break down. Probably close somewhere around here. Wednesday we can see if we can get into somewhere down there. Same thing with the NQ. I don't think you're really getting into meaningfully breaking this prior week's low or the prior month's low or any sort of stuff like that. I think instead you're looking for this spot to hold and get that reclaim and move up to around 260-ish. Hope that makes sense. Hope that helps. Probably not a lot of stuff happening overnight now that we found, in my opinion, the overnight low. I think it's going to be a drift in range for the rest of the session. Have a great night and trade safe.